Okay. So again, welcome to another session of the Relaxing Fertility Yoga sponsored by the Fertility Partnership. My name is Julie, and my invitation to you is always the same, which is to practice with kindness towards your body and towards yourself, and an invitation to just be a witness to your experience. So rather than label anything with shoulds, how you should be, how you should look, how you should think, how you should feel, all of these shoulds, my invitation to you is to just observe. So there's no need for shoulds. Everything just is, you know, the sky is this as the sky is. The trees are as they are. So are we. We are going to start, as we always do, with a brief centering and breathing. And then we're going to move into some warm-up movements. And then from there, we will flow through a series of postures. Every week is different. Just to say, these classes are safe for anyone undergoing IVF right now. At any stage of the process, these are safe. If you are feeling low on energy, just in general, or because you've had a treatment, take it easier. Just listen to your body as you need. And of course, men are also welcome in these classes, of course, because men are also a part of this process for many couples. So men and women are both completely welcome here. I think that's all I need to say. So I guess the final thing to say is, if you are new here, I am at home right now, and I do have 2 dogs and 2 cats, and they do occasionally make noise and or walk by. So see if you can just allow that to happen as and when it does. Okay. So to begin, we're going to start with that centering position. You have a couple options here. You can either sit, and you can sit up nice and tall, or you can lie down. So those of you who have been sitting at a desk most of the day, or even if it wasn't a desk, just if you've been sort of sitting, working most of the day, or driving, your body will probably appreciate a little bit of a break, in which case you could lie down onto your back. Bending your knees is always the more comfortable option for the lower back if there are sensitivities there. Otherwise, you can just extend the legs straight out, letting them flop and splay, just as long as that feels okay to your back. All right. I'm feeling a little tired. I've had my second jab today. Okay. So yes, so either sit or lie down. And also feel free to use any props that you have available to you. So if you use yoga bolsters, or if you use blankets or cushions or anything else, just you're more than welcome to use them as you like. Okay. So once you find that comfortable position, either sitting or lying down, take a few rolls of the shoulders. So you're going to inhale and roll them up, and then exhale them down and back. And again. And one more. And just relax the shoulders down. Relax the hands either facing up or down, whatever feels better to you. Close your eyes. And take a few deep inhales through the nose, with exhales sighing or blowing the air out of the mouth. And just do this a few times. Inhaling calm, exhaling, sighing out, letting go of any stress or any tension. And once you've sighed out a few times, just come back to the natural rhythm of your breath. Notice your breath and where it lands in the body. Notice what the breath can tell you about this moment in your body. And again, see if you can observe without judging anything as good or bad. Just simply notice. And from here, take the awareness and just check in with your mind. Notice the quality of the mind, how open or closed it is, how busy or quiet, if there are any patterns of thoughts on repeat. And then check in with your heart, with your emotional center, however you see it or feel it. Just notice how you are feeling in this moment. And see if you can practice being with the feelings rather than resisting anything. And take the awareness and check in with your body. Just notice anything there is to notice about your body right now, where the body is feeling open and relaxed, where the body might be storing stress or tension. Notice, lastly, just your general energy. So we often talk about people or places having vibes. What is your vibe right now? And just notice, again, there's no need to judge anything. Just become aware. What is the energy that you are emitting right now? And take the awareness and bring it back to your breath. And just start to deepen the breath through the nose. Inhale through the nose, take the breath down into the belly so that the belly rises with the inhale. And then exhale back out the nose and feel the belly roll back towards the spine. So we inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. And then deepen the breath further. Inhale through the nose, fill up, belly, ribs, chest, expanding all the way up through the inhale. Exhale out the nose, chest, ribs, and belly contract. So we inhale, expand, and exhale, contract. So those of you newer to pranayama, which is the umbrella term for yogic breathing, try to just stay with this for now. This is your dirgha breath. So if you're newer to this, stay with this. Otherwise, if you're more familiar with pranayama, come into your ujjayi or your ocean wave sounding breath. And if you haven't quite figured that one out yet, one way of thinking about it is if you were going to fog a mirror, you would hold like a little handheld mirror. You would hold that mirror out in front of your hand, and then you would open your mouth and you would exhale to fog up the mirror. And then if you were going to reverse that, you would a bit like you're sounding scared. Now, when we do that, especially the reverse with the mouth open, it can be a little tickly and uncomfortable on the throat. But the idea is that you do that in and out of the nose and just as slow as your dirgha breath. So it's also called the ocean wave sounding breath. So I'm getting a little closer to the microphone so you can hopefully hear it. So when you're doing that breath, you have that constriction and it's that and you get that slight ocean wave quality. I don't know if Zoom will audio edit that out because it's really good at editing out the background noise, but it just has this ocean wave sound. And if you're newer to it, sometimes people activate the vocal cords. So they kind of do this. I can't do it. Actually, I can't do it on command. Let me try. Yeah, you get like a little whistly thing with the vocal cords. If you're new to this, practice is always practice. So if you activate the vocal cords, it's okay. But the idea is that the vocal cords are actually not part of this at all. It's just the epiglottis. So whether breathing that ujjayi, that ocean wave sounding breath, or whether breathing just that nice slow dirgha breath, take about 3 to 5 more breaths here. Just giving your body lots of good oxygen. And then start to mentally ready yourself for movement and just in your own time, in your own way, draw some movement back into your body. Just let yourself stretch, roll around, yawn, sigh. Just do whatever you need to do, whatever feels good to you. And from here, I'd like you to come up to a seated position, um, just for a few moments to start. So just take your time, and you're going to come up to seated and just sit with your legs crossed if you're able. If when you sit here, if you feel really uncomfortable, so if you feel you're kind of being drawn back and your knees are going up really high and your body is just saying no, then sit up onto something. So grab a throw pillow. If you don't have any yoga props, that's totally fine. Grab a throw pillow or even a couch cushion, and you can set yourself up onto that, or some folded up towels. Okay. And then we're just going to start with some basic movements just to drop into the body a little more. So inhale, lift your arms up. And exhale, release down. And again, inhale, lift. And exhale, down. And one more. And then inhale, lift the arms. And then this time as you exhale, I want you to drop your right hand down towards your spine and take your left hand to that elbow. Sit up as tall as you can here and very gently pull across. It's nothing masochistic. So just a gentle pull across. And then even take your right rib cage and sort of lift it up and over to the sky. So we're really getting into that shoulder. And inhale back through center. Drop that left hand, and we're going to just draw that elbow across, trying to open the tricep a little bit. And then we can even push that rib cage up to the sky a bit more. And inhale, take your hands up through center, interlace your fingers, and then lift up through your palms. They're just really saying hey to the shoulders to start today. And gently unwind, release your left hand down to the ground. And then just take that right arm and really reach across here. I want you to avoid turning down to look to the floor. Imagine your torso is just between two panes of glass there as you reach across. And then inhale back through center. Oh, and exhale over to the other side. Just take a few deep breaths here. And inhale all the way up through center. And exhale, hinge forward from your hips and gently bow down towards the earth. Roll the hands back in towards the heart. Inhale, lift. And exhale, bow. And just take a few breaths like this, inhaling up and exhaling down. One more. All right. And then from here, start to roll yourself back up to seated for a moment. And something that we have done before, but we haven't done it at least, I would say, for a month or so, is we haven't done the basic vagus nerve exercise. Now, if you don't have any idea what I'm talking about, don't worry. The vagus nerve, and vagus is Vagus, not Vegas like Las Vegas. So the vagus nerve is often responsible for our stress responses. And in fact, we have many exercises that we can do to stimulate the vagus nerve so that we have release of physical tension that is being held in the body. The vagus nerve is this amazing nerve that basically just wanders from your head down to your gut and has all these amazing branches. And so we can do things to, again, help to release stress from the autonomic nervous system, which if you've done these classes before, you know that really when we're talking about fertility yoga, yes, there are certain theoretical things that I can offer you. Again, theoretical, because again, the body's this amazing organism. And so, you can do something and it can be affecting multiple things at the same time. So again, we have theories and ideas as to why certain things do certain things. But really one of the most important things I can give you is just exercises to reduce stress. So everything from breathing to vagus nerve exercises to just that opening of the body to help bring cortisol levels down. These are the things that are very important and quite proven. So yes, okay, sorry, that was a lot of chat. Okay, so what we are going to do is we're going to come down onto the ground for this vagus nerve exercise. It is very simple, but if you haven't done this before, in a moment, all I'm going to ask you to do is take your eyes to one side, and you're going to hold that position with the eyes open, but you're allowed to blink. We're not going to turn the head, but again, we'll get there. Before you come down, sorry, there was a reason I wanted you to sit, coming back to that. Before you come down, just sitting up tall, I want you to turn your head to one side, nice and slow. It doesn't matter which, and just notice your range of motion and notice any spots of tension, how it feels, how far it goes. And then take the head back to center and over to the other side. And again, just notice anything that you can notice there. So that's your measuring stick. That's your ruler. Now, I'd like you to go ahead and come down onto the back now. And I'm just going to grab your phone for the timer because we're going to time this. So coming down onto your back, bend your knees and place your feet on the floor. And then I want you to take your hands up, interlace your fingers, and then take your hands, those interlaced fingers behind your head and just adjust so that you're as comfortable as you can be here. Now, remember what I said a moment ago about we're not turning the head. So you'll really quickly feel if your head is turning at all on your hands. Basically, think about there being a string from your nose up to the ceiling, and you're just going to stay in place without upsetting that string from your nose to the ceiling. Okay. Now, the dogs are coming back, so you might hear them. Okay. So in just a moment, I'm going to ask you to take your gaze to the right, and you're going to take it as far to the right as you can, out the corner of your eye without turning your head. Okay. And again, again, you can blink here, but keep the gaze over to the right. So go ahead, take your gaze to the right. I'm just going to turn a little timer on. We're going to hold this for 1 minute. As you hold this, just allow for any responses that your body gives you. So if you suddenly sigh or swallow or yawn, all of that is normal, and all of those are vasovagal responses. And if it feels a little uncomfortable, that's okay too. It's normal, especially if this is one of the first times you're doing this. As you practice this over time, just like any type of exercise, you don't feel the same strain that you do at the beginning. And take deep breaths as and when you need. Okay. And then take your eyes back to center. And just allow for, again, any natural responses. So if you sigh or yawn or anything at all, just allow that to happen. And then go ahead and take your gaze over to the left, again, without turning your head, just your eyes going as far to the left as you can. And then we're going to hold that for a minute. And take your eyes back to center. And again, just allow yourself any natural responses. So sigh, yawn, just whatever comes to you. And then you can draw the knees into your chest, take your hands up to your knees, cross your ankles, and gently rock all the way up to seated. And then from here, I want you to again check in with your measuring stick, with your ruler, by slowly turning your head to one side and then the other. And just notice if there are any shifts or changes. Some people have really profound responses to this exercise, and some people have less. If you are someone that you really responded to this, that's great. And just to say, so I time it when I'm teaching, but really you can do this anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 minutes. And when I'm doing it on my own, just in a personal practice, I just hold it until I feel a release. So if you enjoy that exercise, if you find it helpful, it's basically 2 minutes of your life. Okay, so it's something you can do every day if you find it useful. All right, so let's keep going. So what I'd like you to do now is take your hands out in front of you and roll over your knees so that you are coming up into a tabletop position. So you're bringing your knees in line with your hips, and you're starting with your shoulders in line with your wrists. And then we're going to carry on doing some nice things for the shoulders here. So we're going to come down onto the elbows, leave the bum up in the air, and we're going to take a puppy pose. So we take the arms out and take the forehead down, so that we just have this nice opening through the upper back and through the shoulder. Take a few deep breaths here. Take one more breath there. And then start to roll yourself back, lift the head, lift the heart, take the hands up. And I want you to spread your fingers wide. And then actually, changing my mind slightly, I want you to take your bottom back to your heels, and then take your arms out in front of you and keep the fingers spread wide at shoulder distance. And we're just going to start to wake up the hips and the back a little more. So what I'd like you to do here is I'd like you to start to roll and take your toes up to the sky, roll the shoulders back. You're going to feel a stretch across your tummy. We take an inhale. And exhale, roll it right on back. Take the bottom back towards the heels. So we come back to child's pose. And let's do that a few more times. So we just roll up over the knees, let the toes lift, roll the shoulders back, open up through the chest. Oh, and then exhale, start to roll it back. A few more, and just go at your own pace. Don't worry about my pace. If your knees start to go a little wide, that's okay. That's normal too. Take one more. Sorry. Okay, and then roll it all the way back. And slowly roll up so that you are coming up to a seated position on your shins. And then we're going to do something here. So what I would like you to do is I'd like you to take your big toes and bring them together behind you. And then help your knees go as wide as you can. So you're just taking your knees out, again, as wide as you comfortably, suitably can there. Okay, and try to keep the big toes in a kiss. If they separate a little, it's okay, but more or less together. And then you're going to walk yourself forward. So you're going to walk your hands out in front of you. And then gently start to push your bottom back a little bit. We're not coming all the way down to start here. Now, as you're doing this, hopefully you're starting to feel a stretch around the inside of the upper thigh. Now, this is an iliopsoas stretch. This is a stretch actually for your lower back. There's a muscle that connects over your hip. So it connects from your femur over your hip into your lower back. So if you struggle with low back pain, this is a great one to do. And then if you want to go down a little lower, you can, but just avoid lurching forward. So sometimes you can kind of fall forward and then you end up putting pressure in your lower back, and we want to avoid that. We're trying to release that pressure. Let's take about 3 more breaths here. Okay, start to lift the head, lift the heart, and then walk back up into your hands. Draw your legs back towards each other. And then I feel like we've had a pretty chilled out, like extra chilled out session today. So I'd like to do a few things just to get a little more movement into the body right now. So let's start so you're just going to sit back into your bottom again, and then take your fingertips out in front of you again and spread them nice and wide. And then just gonna move the plan. Okay, roll up towards your hands, curl your toes under behind you, send your hips back, Then I want you to roll your shoulders back, and we're just going to find a downward facing dog here and take that dog for a little walk. So we bend one knee and then the other. Just walk it out, starting to feel that stretch through the backs of the legs. Oh, then push back into your downward facing dog. Roll the shoulders back, squeeze under your armpits. Okay, and then inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. And then exhale, bend that right knee, take it forward and float that foot up between your hands. You might need to help it into place, and that's fine if you do. Okay, and then you're going to take your fingertips either side of that right foot. Knee is in line with the ankle. We push through that foot. We're up on the ball of the back foot. And then we're going to engage with the core and swing ourselves up to the sky. And I realize I've just gone headless, but I'm going to carry on. Okay, so we square the hips forward. Take your arms up, sink your shoulders. And then exhale, I want you to turn that back heel out somewhere between 45 and 90 degrees. So it's kind of bisecting that front foot. Okay, and then you're going to take your arms up to a T. So we're taking it up to warrior two. So we're getting some nice hip openers while we strengthen here. Maybe you're starting to take some deeper breaths, all good things. So we inhale here. And then exhale, release the arms down. Take an inhale, roll the shoulders up. And exhale them down and back. Interlace your fingers behind your back and draw down through the arms. Take an inhale there. And then I want you to turn to face the inside of that right leg. And then exhale, hinge forward from the hip. And you're going to take that right shoulder down towards the right knee, hanging the head. So this is humble warrior, a lot going on here. So working the legs, have the hips open, opening up the shoulders. And then take your hands back to your lower back. Push through that front foot. Unwind. Take your arms back up into warrior two. Inhale. Take a quarter turn. So you're turning to face forward again. And then I want you to swing your arms up into the sky. Inhale. And then exhale. Hinge forward from the hips. Take the hands down. Draw that right foot back. And then gently take your knees down. Roll back into a child's pose. Take your forehead down and just side out there. And then start to lift the head, lift the heart. Come back up onto your fingertips again. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Roll up towards your hands. Curl the toes under behind you. Send your hips back. Roll the shoulders back. And then inhale, lift the left leg up to the sky. Exhale, bend that left knee. Take it forward and float it up between your hands. And you're up on the ball of that back foot. Engage with your core, push through that front foot. And you're going to inhale and lift all the way up here. Exhale, we turn it out into warrior two. So we take the arms and we bring them out so that the left arm is going back and right arm is going back and right heel is somewhere between 45 and 90 degrees. It's possible it's going to look opposite on your screen right now because I'm not mirroring you. So know that it's not that there's anything wrong if that is the case. And then we're going to look forward past those left fingertips. And then exhale, release the arms down. Take an inhale, roll the shoulders up. And then exhale them back. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Draw down through the arms. And then turn to face the inside of that left leg. Take an inhale. And then exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Let those interlaced fingers hang back and away from your lower back as that left shoulder comes down towards the left knee. So again, we're finding our humble warrior. Just breathe. Don't need to take anything too seriously. And then take your hands back down to your lower back and wind the fingers, lift up through the arms. And then again, we're going to take a quarter turn. So we pivot on that back foot. Now this time, rather than come down, we're going to take a big step forward and I'm going to adjust the screen. Okay. So once you have taken that big step forward, take your arms up to the sky, sink your shoulder. Bring your feet to a nice hip distance stance there, if they weren't. And we're going to take an inhale here. And then exhale, I want you to swan dive and fold forward. Hang the head, hang the arms. Really let the head be heavy there. And then take hold of opposite elbows and opposite hands and just gently sway a little bit side to side. So just swaying from the hips, getting a little more action into the stretch in the backs of the calves. Okay. Take another breath there. And then from here, start to come back to center. Take your hands down towards the, actually changing my mind. Sorry, changing my mind. Take your fingertips up to your shins. Roll your shoulders back. Come into a flat back with straight legs. Take your arms out to a airplane. So arms coming back behind you. And then reverse up to the sky with a nice flat back. Okay, and then exhale, release your arms down to your sides. Okay, from here, we are going to come into a balancing variation on a squat. So what I would like you to do is I would like you to bring your feet as close together as you can. Now, if you're like me, your knees might not like this. My knees kind of hate these positions where the feet are right next to each other. So it's okay to have a slight gap if you need, that's okay, okay? Now, from here, what we're going to do, and I'm just going to turn sideways to show you. So what we're going to do is we are going to bend the knees and lift the heels. So in that position, we bend the knees, we lift the heels, and then we start to come down and let the knees go wide so that the balls of the feet and the heels are coming together under the tailbone. So just, I'll show you that one more time for anyone that might not be there. So again, feet are coming together, we bend the knees, heels come up, and then we start to take it down, letting the balls of the feet and the heels come together. And again, the knees go out. Now, do the best that you can with this. And see if you can just come up into a balance, letting your palms rest on your legs. Just breathe. I know it's a tricky one. And take your arms up into the sky. If you want more, you can take them up into a high namaste. Allow for the micro adjustments with the balance. A few more breaths. And exhale, release your arms down. And then from here, start to take your hands out in front of you. Oh, uncurl your toes. Give your tootsies a little wiggle back out. Okay, and then start to sit back again into your shins, and we're actually going to come down onto the back. So if during any of those warriors or anything you had a layer that also came off, you might want to just pop it back on now. And then we're going to unwind the legs, taking them out in front of us. And I'm just debating, no, let's come all the way down straight. Okay, so then start to come down onto your back and just start with your knees bent. Oh, and take a moment just to sigh out there. All right. And then once you have sighed out a couple of times, we're just going to take some very, okay, all right. Sorry, the cat's just crawling all over me, punching my organs with his paws. Okay, so we're going to just take some really gentle openers here. So what I'd like you to do is extend your left leg out, bring your right ankle towards your left thigh. Ow. As I was retrieving my arm, he bit it. He's a special cat. Anyway, he's a rescue. Okay, so we're going to interlace the fingers, point the index fingers and the thumbs up to the sky. Draw your arms down to the sides of your head so that the thumbs are coming to the earth. And then let that right knee tip out to the side. So we're coming into just a really nice supine tree. So we've got this hip opener, but it's a more relaxed hip opener than many. However, if this is very challenging for your hip, because for some people the knee is going to be up really high, you can pop a pillow or a block if you're using yoga blocks or bolsters under that leg just to give it a little extra support. So if you feel like the hip won't open so that the leg can come down, put something underneath it to offer your body that opening in a supportive way. Take just a couple more breaths here. And slowly start to take that leg back up. And then you're going to just bend your left leg. So nothing fancy. Arms can stay where they are. Right leg extends. We walk that left foot into the right thigh, and then we tip that left leg out and or offer support to it as well when you tip it out. And let's just breathe here in this supine tree, Supta Vrikshasana. Take a couple more breaths here. And start to tip that leg back up to the sky. And bend your other leg and also bring it back up. Unwind your arms and bring them to the sides of your body here. And then we're going to just take one bridge because we can while we're here. So we're going to bring the heels up towards the bottom as close as is comfortable without wrenching on the knees in any particular way. And we're going to square the toes forward at a hip distance stance. So they no longer have to be right next to each other, but actually allow for that gap between your feet. And then from here, inhale, lift your hips, lift your pelvis, taking them up towards the sky. And then you can interlace your fingers under your body, walking the shoulders in. So we squeeze and lift up into this bridge. And I just want you to take some nice deep breaths there. And if you want, you can also play with lifting your heels and coming up into this variation that can sometimes feel a little better on the muscles. Take a couple more breaths here. And then unwind your fingers, take your back down to the ground. And from here, walk your feet back together and then let your knees tip out to the side. So you're coming into a supine bound angle, Supta Badakanasana. Again, use supports under your knees if you need. Oh. And just take some deep breaths there. One more breath. And draw your legs back together. And you can leave them next to each other here. Take your arms out to a T with your palms facing up. And then pick your left hand up. And I want you just to roll onto your right side and take that left hand onto your right. So let the palms touch. And then just keep sending that left arm a little further across. So the palm might slide all the way off the right to the floor. And you're just going to get into the shoulder there a little bit. And start to roll back through center. And you're going to pick that right hand up, roll into the left side. And then same as on the other side, you just slide it a little further across. Okay, and then take it all the way back through center. And then just relax here at center now. If you want to grab a blanket and throw it over your body, you can do so. And if you prefer to keep your knees bent, do. Otherwise, extend your legs out and just let them flop and sway. Relax your shoulders down. Relax your hands, either facing up or down. And close your eyes and take a few deep inhales through the nose, with exhales sighing or blowing the air out of the mouth. And once you've sighed out a few times, just let your natural breath take over again. Feel your eyelids become heavy over your eyes. Just feel your body starting to melt down. Taking these moments to rest and integrate all that you just did. And take just a few more moments to simply be here, breathing here now. Just honoring the fact that you took this hour to nourish yourself. And draw some movement back into your fingers and into your toes. A few deeper breaths. And then gently roll to one side. And then bring yourself all the way back up to seated. Take your hands into prayer. And gently bow, honoring your body, your light, your practice in this earth. And thank you all so much for coming this evening. So just to let you know, for actually the next 3 Thursdays, I am going to pre-record the classes and put them on YouTube. And I will put that link or put the name of my page there. Last time I was meant to do this, there was all kinds of drama and it didn't end up happening, but this time it's definitely happening. You can, the Fertility Partnership will also post the information about this. They will be set as premieres on the Thursdays, so the same time. So do try to do it because you'll be doing it together still, and you can comment live to each other if you want as well, or not. But they will also be available, of course, for the replay thereafter on YouTube. I won't be available the next few Thursdays, and I'm going to try to make them kind of special classes. One of them, I might do a partner yoga stretch session. you might, hopefully, if you have a partner, be able to convince them to do this with you. I have to convince mine to record the video with me first. I'm sure he will. He's done it before. But if you don't have a partner that will do that with you, I think I'm going to do that in 2 weeks. If you don't have a partner that will do that with you, there is the backlog of, I think there's like 50 videos or something on the playlist, so you can access those anytime. Oh, thank you guys so much. I'm so glad that you enjoyed that. Yeah, so let me put that in the chat box actually. So my YouTube, you can just find me on YouTube under this name. Ooh, make sure I put the typo in there. So yeah, so you can find me there, and it's going to be, again, same time, just live premiere on YouTube for the next 3 weeks, just because I'm not around on the Thursdays those 3 weeks. But yeah, so then I will see you back live here at the end of August, and I wish you all much love and enjoy the pre-recorded videos. I hope you can convince your partner for the one session. Okay. And if you can't convince a partner, convince a friend or a family member. It doesn't have to be your partner. It doesn't have to be romantic. Okay. Sending you guys lots of love, and talk to you soon. Bye.